Hey guys, welcome to Digit.in, and what we have for you today is a TV from Akai, a brand that was once making TVs in India, then vanished, and now it's back. And the funny thing is, reviewing this TV felt a lot like deja vu. And honestly, reviewing this TV gave me a sense of deja vu. But before we get into this TV, let's talk a little bit about this price segment. This TV is a 43-inch full HD TV. It does not support HDR, and it is priced at about 25,000 rupees. It isn't that the budget TV is now so homogeneous that you're getting the same UI all over. You do have some unique things, and the unique thing about this TV is that it's running on the Fire TV. So how does this TV fare? Well, let's start with the build and design. There's really nothing exciting that we can tell you about the build of this TV. It has the same standard 2 plastic feet, a little bit of a wobble if you tap the top, but nothing that makes us feel like the TV is going to topple over. I mean, how many of you actually go and tap your TV? The space below the TV isn't a lot, which means you can probably keep a set-top box, but a sound bar or maybe even a previous generation gaming console could hamper your viewing experience based on how high you are sitting in front of the TV. It is at par with what we've seen with some other budget TVs. All the connectivity options are on one side, and you do get 3 HDMI ports and 1 USB port, so that should be something to consider. Some TVs bring with it 2 USB ports, and considering this has a Fire TV UI built in, that's one device you're not going to connect to your TV, so you may not need that extra USB port for power. Now let's come to the panel itself. Of course, like I said, it's a full HD TV with SDR performance. Now, I firmly believe that at the lower end of the price segment, it makes more sense to go for an SDR TV, because a lot of these budget HDR TVs don't necessarily have the best HDR implementation. We've played a lot of content on this TV from streaming services like Netflix, like Prime Videos, even Disney Plus Hotstar, be it WandaVision, which we can't show you for copyright reasons. It is actually fun. So the various themes of the various episodes of WandaVision, be it the first black and white episode or the 70s or the 80s episode, which has a slightly different color palette, all of that looks really nice and enjoyable on this TV. So somewhere center in front of the TV or slightly off-centered, also you can have a good experience. Even on Netflix, if you look at a show like Our Planet, the vibrancy between the night and day transition also is something that looks good considering this is an SDR TV. Of course, on an HDR TV, our parameters for judging it are very different, but considering this is in standard dynamic range, it is fun to watch. Even action movies like, let's say, Mission Impossible with its skin tones. Now, the TV does give you a lot of granular details to control picture settings, but it does have the standard slew of settings like standard, eco, dynamic, movie, and playing with these settings should be good enough to give you a color experience that you enjoy. For example, in a movie like Mission Impossible, you may want to keep it on standard, or movie, it really worked. Where dynamic really looked nice for some time was if you're watching a movie like, let's say, Spider-Man, where you want those reds and blues in his suit to pop during some action sequence. But there again, the movie preset and the standard preset were the better ones. Eco, I think, reduced the backlight considerably, so not one to keep when you are watching dark sequences. So if you're going to consume content from OTT platforms or from a set-top box, then you should do fine with this TV. If you're going to watch things like news or documentaries, then the vocals are going to do a fine job. Now, last but not least is the UI and the remote control. And let's start with the remote control. It's very similar to what we get with the Fire TV stick. You have an Alexa button, which means if you have Alexa-enabled home appliances or any other gadgets at home, you can control it from this TV. You also get playback controls and the standard navigation controls. You get volume, live TV, channel changing, of course, in case you connect good old antenna to this TV. But one button that I really like here is the recents button. Now, what this button does, as you can say, it says recents out there, and because this TV has been off for a while, now it's popping up. You can see what we've seen recently. This also reminds me of the time when, when you had good old TV, which are not smart TVs, and you had that one button you could jump between 2 channels that you were watching. This essentially is great if you just want really specific things that you control. Alexa also lets you control and change HDMI sources. So it's really cool modern implementation of an old technology with this recents button, and of course everything that the UI of this TV brings. You also have hotkeys for Prime Videos, Netflix, Amazon Music, and a dedicated button to bring up all your apps. Now, speaking of the change being that when you set up the TV for the first time, it has the newer version of the UI. Now, here's the thing. Amazon has launched a brand new user interface with its 3rd generation Fire TV stick and the Fire TV Stick Lite. We have checked out that UI. You can go back and check out our video of the Fire TV sticks. But it would be great to see that UI on this TV, because it will bring with it personalization and profiles, up to 6 profiles in the new UI, whereas this is pretty much the traditional UI that you get. You have all your apps laid out, your recents laid out, you have your HDMI inputs, which is little more than what we got in the Fire TV Stick, of course, obviously. And of course you have the top row navigation like home, live, movies, TV shows. As you can see, I'm navigating it. The UI is absolutely fluid. In fact, even if I pull up Alexa and say, what's the temperature right now? It's just going to pop up, unless of course it picked up a little of my voice before. But yeah, it pops up. It's just very fluid. It doesn't have any of the lags we've seen on some budget Android TVs, which is actually great. Last but not least, if you are going to use this TV for gaming, it makes sense if you have a base PS4 or an Xbox One. We gamed with this on the Xbox One X. And there is a game mode on the TV, but we really can't judge how much it affects input lag. And changing between game and any other setting really didn't affect our gameplay or the input lag that much. So it's up to you, whichever setting suits you best. Again, visually, games like Assassin's Creed or Gears 5 or even Forza looked rich on this TV, especially in SDR, because you aren't really gunning for that HDR look on a budget. So yes, in that way, the SDR picture playback on this TV is an advantage in its favor. So to sum up, we'd like to say that the UI of the TV is what is its strongest suite. The picture performance is actually pretty good considering the price point. The build is pretty standard apart from a few niggles with the way the TV wobbles. Remote control is pretty much what you would get with a Fire TV Stick. And if you are on a really tight budget and you are contemplating between the different options, know that this one can definitely be on your list. So that was our review of the Akai TV, which we feel is an absolute clone here. If you have any questions, hit us up in the comment section below. We will do our best to answer them. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you are notified when we upload a new video. This is me, Samir, signing off for today. Happy watching, and we will catch you in another video. It's goodbye for now.